continuing reading In the Year of the Boar and Jackie Robinson by Bette Bao Lord. Here we go. June. I pledge a lesson to the frog. It was almost summer. An eager sun outshone the neon sign atop of the squib factory, even before the first bell beckoned students to their homerooms. Now, alongside the empty milk crates at Mr. P's, brown paper bags with collars neatly rolled boasted plump strawberries, crimson cherries, and Chiquita bananas. The cloakroom stood empty. Gone the sweaters, slickers, and galoshes. At the second bell, the 5th grade, as always, scrambled to their feet. As always, Tommy O'Brien giggled, and each girl checked their seat to see if she was his victim of the day. Susie Spencer, whose tardiness could set clocks, rushed in, her face long with excuses. Popping a last bubble, Maria Gonzalez tucked her gum safely behind an ear, while Joseph gave an extra stroke to his hair. Finally, Mrs. Rappaport cleared her throat, and the room was still. With hands over hearts, the class performed the ritual that ushered in another day at school. Shirley's voice was lost in the chorus. I pledge a lesson to the frog of the United States of America, and to the wee puppet for witches' hands, one Asian in the vestibule with little tea and just rice for all. Class, be seated, said Mrs. Rappaport, looking around to see if anyone was absent. No one was. Any questions on the homework? All hands remained on or below the desk, etched with initials, new with splinters, brown with age. In that case, any questions on any subject at all? Irvy's hand shot up. It was quickly pulled down by Maria, who hated even the sound of the word spider. I love spiders. Spiders were all Irvy ever asked about, talked about, dreamed about. How many eyes do spiders have? Do spiders eat 3 meals a day? No. Where are spiders' ears located? By now, everyone in the 5th grade knew that spiders come with no 6 or 8 eyes, that spiders do not have to dine regularly, and that some can thrive as long as 2 years without a bite, that spiders are earless. Since Irvy was as scared of girls as Maria was of spiders, he sat on his hands, but just in case he changed his mind, Maria's hand went up. Yes, Maria? I had a question, but I forgot. Was it something we discussed yesterday? Yeah, that's it. Something about air currents or cloud formation, perhaps? Yeah, how come I see lightning before I hear thunder? Does anyone recall the answer? Tommy jumped in. That's easy, 'cause your eyes are in front and your ears are off to the side. To prove his point, he wiggled his ears, which framed his disarming smile like the handles of a fancy soup bowl. Laughter was his reward. The correct answer, Maria, said Mrs. Rappaport, trying not to smile too, is that light waves travel faster than sound waves. Shirley raised her hand. Yes? Who's the girl Jackie Robinson? Laughter returned. This time Shirley did not understand the joke. Was the girl very, very bad? So bad that her name should not be uttered in the presence of a grown-up? Putting a finger to her lips, Mrs. Rappaport quieted the class. Shirley, you ask an excellent question, a most appropriate one. The Chinese blushed, wishing her teacher would stop praising her, or at least not in front of the others. Already they called her teacher's dog or apple shiner. Jackie Robinson, Miss Rappaport continued, is a man, the first Negro to play baseball in the major leagues. What is a Negro, Mrs. Rappaport? A Negro is someone who is born with dark skin. Like Mabel? Like Mabel and Joey and Maria? No, Maria is not a Negro, but Maria is darker than Joey. I see what you mean. Let me try again. A Negro is someone whose ancestors originally came from Africa and who has dark skin. Then why I'm called Jackie Robinson? Mrs. Rappaport looked mystified. Who calls you Jackie Robinson? Everybody. Then I'll have to ask them. Mabel? 'Cause she's pigeon-toed and stole home. The teacher nodded. Well, Shirley, it seems you are not only a good student, but a good baseball player. There, she's done it again. The kids would surely call her a shiner of apples for teacher's dog next. Shirley's unhappiness must have been obvious, because Mrs. Rappaport evidently felt the need to explain further. It is a compliment, Shirley. Jackie Robinson is a big hero, especially in Brooklyn, because he plays for the Dodgers. Who is Dodgers? Shirley asked. With that question, like a wayward torch in a room full of firecrackers, sparked answers from everyone. They're bums! The best in the history of baseball! Kings of Ebbets Field! They'll kill the Giants! They'll murder the Yankees! The swellest guys in the world! America's favorites! Winners! Mrs. Rappaport clapped her hands for order. The girls quieted down first, followed reluctantly by the boys. That's better. Participation is welcome, but one at a time. Let's do talk about baseball. Yeah! Shouted the class. And let's combine it with civics too. The class did not welcome this proposal as eagerly, but Mrs. Rappaport went ahead anyways. Mabel, ask us why baseball is America's favorite pastime. Pursing her lips in disgust at so ridiculous a question, Mabel answered, "'Cause it's a great game. Everybody plays it, loves it, and follows the game on the radio and has every chance to go and see it." True, Mrs. Rappaport said, nodding. But what is it about baseball that is ideally suited to Americans? Mabel turned around, looking for an answer from someone else, but to no avail. There was nothing to do but to throw the question back. What do you mean by suits? I mean, is there something special about baseball that fits the special kind of people we are and the special kind of country America is? Mrs. Rappaport tilted her head to one side, inviting a response. When none came, she sighed a sigh so fraught with disappointment that it sounded as if her heart were breaking. No one wished to be a party to such a sad event, so everybody found some urgent business to attend to, like scratching, sloughing, sniffing, scribbling, squinting, sucking teeth, and removing dirt from underneath a fingernail. Joseph cracked his knuckles. The ticking of the big clock became so loud that President Washington and President Lincoln, who occupied the wall space to either side of it, exchanged a look of shared displeasure. But within the frail, bird-like body of Mrs. Rappaport was the spirit of a dragon capable of attacking the heavens and the earth. With a quick toss of her red hair, she proceeded to answer her own question with such feeling that no one who heard could be so unkind as to ever forget, least of all Shirley. Baseball is not just another sport. America is not just another country. If Shirley did not understand every word, she took its meaning to heart. Unlike grandfather's stories, which quieted the warring spirits within her with the softness of moonlight or the lyric timbre of a lone flute, Mrs. Rappaport's speech thrilled her like the sunlight and trumpets. In our national pastime, each player is a member of a team, but when he comes to bat, he stands alone. One man, many opportunities, for no matter how far behind, how late in the game, he, by himself, can make a difference. He can change what has been. He can make it a new ball game. In the life of our nation, each man is a citizen of the United States, but he has the right to pursue his own happiness. For no matter what his race, religion, or creed, be he pauper or president, he has the right to speak his mind, to live as he wishes within the law, to elect our officials and stand for office, to excel, to make a difference, to change what has been, to make a better America, and so can you, and so must you. Shirley felt as if the walls of the classroom had vanished. In their stead was a frontier of doors to which she held the keys. This year, Jackie Robinson is at bat. He stands for himself, for Americans of every hue, For an America that honors fair play. Jackie Robinson is the grandson of a slave, the son of a sharecropper, raised in poverty by a lone mother who took in ironing and washing, but a woman determined to achieve a better life for her son. And she did, for despite hostility and injustice, Jackie Robinson went to college, excelled in all sports, served his country in war, and now Jackie Robinson is at bat in the big leagues. Jackie Robinson is making a difference. Jackie Robinson has changed what has been, and Jackie Robinson is making a better America. And so can you, and so must you. Suddenly, Shirley understood why her father had brought her 10,000 miles to live among strangers. Here, she did not have to wait for gray hairs to be considered wise. Here, she could speak up, question even the conduct of the president. Here, Shirley Temple Wong was somebody. She felt as if she had the power of 10 tigers, as if she had grown as tall as the Statue of Liberty. July, Toscanini takes a walk. Have a good time. Take care. See you in September. On the way home that last day of school, Shirley heard their voices echoing. Beset, she wavered. Sometimes she ran, couldn't wait to get away. Sometimes she dallied, turning back for one more glimpse of PS8. Without books to carry, her arms were free, but to Shirley they seemed to sway from her shoulders as awkwardly as a chimpanzee's. Without stickball, the schoolyard had an eerie look, as desolate as Chongqing during an air raid. Where had everyone gone? Mabel was not due at her grandmother's house in North Carolina until next week. Tommy's cousins did not expect him before Saturday. Only Maria had to catch a bus. There had been enough players, but each had replied, "Oh, I can't, not today." All had changed. Vacation was here. Her classmates had plans that included their clansmen, not her. For the first time in a long while, Shirley thought of the courtyards. If only they were not so far away. She could join her own cousins and go skimming in a dragon boat, attend parties in honor of the weaving maid, visit temples set above the clouds, enter contests for hoisting the highest kite, harvesting the most silk cocoons. Surely they would welcome her. Surely. Suddenly, she felt a tiny stab of fear. Had they forgotten her too? She vowed to answer fourth cousin's letter that afternoon. It had lain on the table for months. There was always so much to do, so little time. Also, writing in Chinese had become a chore. Too many of the characters were lost to her now. Again, that fear. Mother was right. She must never forget China or lose her Chinese. But then, Shirley stuffed her hands in her pocket and fingered her report card. Slowly, pride took hold. She had passed every course and had gotten A's for effort. Mother would be delighted. Father would present her with a surprise. And tomorrow, she could sleep late, read books she had picked herself, even do nothing if she pleased. And almost every day, there would be baseball games on the radio, games to listen to all summer long. So what if she did not see her friends until September? She had mother and father and Senora, not to mention Toscanini. Shirley had plans too, lots of them. Like playing the piano and reading. She might even learn to knit. Yuck, well, perhaps not that. Determined to have a good summer, she raced the rest of the way home. Meow! Time to have summer break. Ah! Before long, Shirley was infected by a most severe case of Dodger fever. Not even strawberry ice cream could lure her away from the radio when Red Barber was broadcasting the latest adventure of De Bums. Truly nothing else mattered. Not the heat that glued her skin to the plastic chair, not an outing to the beach, not even a movie followed by a beef pot pie at the automat. Okay, just 1 second. Surely she's so into the baseball. I would have quit baseball completely to get a trip to the beach and a movie and a beef pot pie and a strawberry ice cream. Every time number 42 came to bat, she imagined herself in Jackie Robinson's shoes. Every time the pigeon-toed runner got on base, she was ready to help him steal home. And when Jackie's 16-game hitting streak ended, Shirley blamed herself. Geez, on that day, she had to accompany her parents to greet Mr. Lee from Chungking. Obviously, it was her absence from the radio that had made all the difference. Neither mother nor father shared her enthusiasm. In fact, they welcomed the mayhem that emanated from the talking box as if it were a plague of locusts at harvest time. But none of their usual parental tricks succeeded in undoing the spell. What could possibly compete with the goosebumps Shirley sprouted each time Gladys Gooding and her organ led the crowd at Ebbets Field in the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner? Shirley even talked the Senora into letting her off early to catch the final innings. She had grown quite fond of the toothless Senora, who had no longer bothered with the formality of dentures at all during their lessons. In, no smile, no talk. Out, no eat. Problema, big problema. Her initial impression of Toscanini had been more difficult to overcome, however. What a nag he was! Squawk, squawk, squawk! Even so, one sultry afternoon when the curtains hung perfectly still, she volunteered to take Toscanini for a walk. Walk? Repeated the Senora, smacking her head in disbelief. Walk? Dogs go for walks. Cats, maybe, but never birds. In China, birds go for walks every day. They do? Toscanini has made one walk in all his life, from shop to here. No wonder the bird was such a terrible disposition, Shirley thought. You think he like? Oh, yes. Okie dokie, you make walk. Before appearing in public with Toscanini, however, Shirley had first to spruce up his cage. Its present condition would have shamed an elephant. Upstairs, she quickly dismissed the grandfather's practice of setting the bird free during the cleaning and inviting it back inside with a mere whistle. Toscanini was hardly the type to be trusted. Besides, if Mother ever came through the door to find a strange parrot whooshing about the apartment, she would faint away. What to do, what to do? No problema. With a pair of chopsticks, she removed what could easily be removed. With Father's toothbrush, she tackled the rest. With the toothbrush that is being used to brush teeth, she did the bird boop. Bird boop. And Shirley was right. Toscanini loved walking. He blew out his chest to soak in the sunshine. He was sociable when strangers stopped to wish him a good day. He danced when Mr. P treated him to a handful of seeds. Not once did he flap his wings. Not once did he squawk. She could not wait to report on the success of their maiden voyage to the Senora. But once back inside the basement, Shirley saw immediately that her teacher was in no mood to enjoy the details. Rocking back and forth, the figure in black stared blankly ahead. The folds of her cheeks were drawn in a mournful pucker. On her lap was a letter. She never noticed that her pupil was back. Instinctively, Shirley kneeled by the rocker and took the Senora's hands in hers. "What's wrong, Senora?" A tear fell and blurred the writing on the letter. "Please don't cry, Senora, please!" Shirley wondered if she should go get her mother. "Little girl, you are very nice, like my Nonny. She pretty too." "Who's Nonny?" "My own little girl. She lives far away in my old country, so far away." Shirley could not bear to see the sadness on the Senora's face and lowered her gaze until it rested on the old woman's hands. Hands like those of Grand Auntie, which she used to hold. Hands so old and so very far away. Suddenly, Shirley thought she would cry too. "I wish to be with my Nonny. I wish every hour. Why can't you? Who care for house? No rent, my people no eat. So I stay, like a watchdog with family away. 10 years now I am watching. 10 years without my Nonny." It was a lifetime. More years than Shirley had been alive. More years, perhaps, than grand-grand-uncle had left in this world. Once I visit old country. I pay man to do for house. But he was bad. He steal rent. Now can never go back again. Shirley looked up. But you can go, you can! My mother and father would look after the house. They are worthy. They come from an illustrious clan from the ancient civilization of China. Don't cry anymore. You can go to your mummy. The idea pleased the old woman, for her lips parted until her pink gums showed in a huge smile. Then she giggled like a maiden. See! I knew you would see! The problema was solved. It was amazingly simple. All that was left to be done was to convince mother and father. Was this not proof of yet another great opportunity in modern America? Surely they would not possibly think this was just a bandit scheme to escape the tyranny of piano lessons for the joys of Jackie Robinson. That's the end of the chapter. See you all later. Bye-bye. I'm gonna go play with my buddy. Yeehaw!